Showing liberals guns.
The porn dissertation is always going to hold a place in my heart because of what went into making that video. And I don't know if I don't know if I ever talked about this before, but like so I was okay, so how do I tell this story? To get all of the research and everything aggregated and to get all the points together. So the way I make my videos, I'll like have a Google document. I'll get like notes. I'll just write down whatever I'm thinking. Then I try to aggregate those in a way that's coherent. You know, I'll have my research or whatever, copy paste. And so it's a very like laborious and taxing process. And so this was, when I started putting it together, this would have been the end of 2020. And so COVID stuff was still going on in Michigan. And you guys know I like to work out of coffee shops. I think I can get a lot done there. If I'm home, I'll get distracted. So I love working out of coffee shops. I think it's a nice environment. It's cozy, whatever. So at the time, Michigan, all their coffee shops were closed. And so I was driving from Southeast Michigan almost every morning down to Toledo, Ohio.
Wow.
And I'd go to a coffee shop there and I would work because I would try to work at home and I just couldn't. For whatever reason, I just couldn't. And so I'd be like, screw it. So I'd get up early at like, 7. I'd get there maybe 8, 8:30, start working, and then I'd leave when they close at like 8, 9 p.m.
Wow.
So, and then I remember even leaving the coffee shop, which is, I think it was called like Brew Coffee Toledo. Very nice place, by the way. Would recommend. And I remember like finding my way into the University of Toledo and like posting up in a library and like finishing like work there. So there was like a few weeks where I was just waking up there, back. So then finally I'm done. I've got like, 40 pages of notes or something. I'm like, okay, I can sit down and record this. So then I remember I had finished one morning and I went to the studio and it was maybe like 4 o'clock and I was like, okay, I'm exhausted. So I took a 30-minute power nap, got up, got hype, went to record the video. And then Aldo, he's such a Chad. He knew that I was recording. And so, too, we had planned to move down to Texas by this point. And the only thing stopping us was that I had to record this video. And so he's like in my corner. So he, at some point, interrupted the recording because he had showed up at my house and brought me like steak and salmon and like rice to like, get me some food. He's like such a Chad. So he like brought me food halfway during the recording. So it took me about 8.5 hours start to finish to record the video. Because if I like missay a word or a joke doesn't come out the way I want, or like I think of something funny that I could have said, I'll redo it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like what
record the whole thing?
No, not the whole thing,
okay.
But because there are cuts in between. Those are the keen eye can detect.
Yeah.
But so there was that, and then the editing was a whole other thing. So I was in Arizona in February or something, and I had to get back and edit this video. And this was when we got hit with that big storm. I don't know if you guys had moved down, but there was a huge snowstorm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And they canceled all the flights.
Oh, shoot.
So I could not fly back from Arizona to Texas. And I need to edit this video and get it out because the people are waiting. So I get a rental car. I drive from Phoenix to Tucson to get the rental car, I think, and then all the way from Tucson to Dallas-Fort Worth. It was a 14-hour drive, nonstop, in like the worst snow, to edit the video and get it out. So then I got home at like 7 a.m., slept until like maybe noon, got up, returned the rental car, which was in Fort Worth, because I just moved here, so I didn't know. I'm like, well, I live in Fort Worth. It's in downtown Fort Worth, so now I have to drive all the way downtown, get back to my apartment. Then for 2 days nonstop, I'm editing this video. I finally get it out, and it was like heroin when I finally released it. I'll never forget I released it, and I went to the gym. And I was in between sets looking at like what people were saying. I remember Rep tweeted about it. I Hypocrite tweeted about it. And it was like so great, but also that was like a Leviathan for me. Like going through all of that stuff to get the video out, it was like really difficult because, I had hyped it up so much. There was a lot of pressure. And so I really wanted it to like be great. And looking back, there were things that like, for example, my hair looked like a mess. Like I'm of the opinion that the impact of the video would have been like 5 to 7% better if my hair, like the opposite of it, right? I looked like a slob, my hair. And so that's probably always going to be my favorite until I do something that I think is better just because of like what went into that video and the effort. And that's the thing that offends me is when people are like, oh, he hasn't done anything. He's not putting out content, whatever. Like I'm still working just as hard. I'm sorry if I'm retarded and like can't put out, but please be patient. I have autism.
Yeah.
But like I've like, that drive and just the drive, like if I were really just like slacking, like, that type of stuff just wouldn't happen. It's just not in my character. And, not to pat myself on the back or anything, but like there's a reason I haven't talked about that. Like I haven't tried to be like, oh, I'm like so dedicated that I did all this to put the video out. Like I just put the video out and it was what it was. Like, I didn't tell you how much I worked on it, but like it is true. Like there's a lot that goes into things like that. And, I would pray that people don't confuse my lack of output with like passivity or being pacified and just like being generally unmotivated. It's just like really just this sort of autistic over-analysis of my own content that needs to stop. And that was the problem.
Real.
Since I put out the porn commentary video, people started